y'all? It's Coach Steve, and today we're talking about a super important topic. If you're over 40 and you're waiting for the perfect time, that time may never come. Okay? Life gets complicated the older you get. You have families, you have obligations, jobs, maybe past injuries, right? Maybe just embarrassment from getting out of shape. But if we're waiting for that perfect moment, that time may never come. And what ends up happening? Years start to pass, right? Your health starts to decline, your fitness starts to decline, and then starting over again really gets more and more difficult, or at least it seems. I know I've been there. With kids, I got 3 kids, and really just putting all my attention and focus into trying to make money, keep a family together. Sometimes our goals get pushed aside, as we're trying to raise a family. And the reality is, it's kind of like being on an airplane, right? You have to kind of give yourself the oxygen first in order for you to be functional and good for others. And so that's the idea here, is that if you wait too long, right, you may never get to that functional state. If disease happens, if life happens, if those types of things hold you back. And so really just holding off is really not a great excuse to get started. Your health certainly is not going to wait. And so the idea here is, if you are over 40, 50 years old, it's never too late to start. And so hopefully, I can provide some inspiration and living proof that even at my age, and I just turned 51 yesterday. Yesterday was my birthday, y'all. And but we can still make things happen. We can still get fitter, stronger, and we can achieve a lot of our physical goals that we hope to achieve. Are we 20 years old again? No, we'll never be 20 or 25 or whatever it is that you kind of have this idea in your head that you want to be at. But 50, you can do unbelievable things as you get older. And again, like, you're never going to get that youth back, okay? But certainly from a fitness standpoint, from a strength standpoint, you can be as fit or as strong as you've ever been. Now, the way we get there needs to be adjusted, right? We aren't living in the same bodies that we used to live in. When we're 20 years old, our bodies can take much more abuse. And so, we don't need the same amount of recovery and mobility that we used to need. As we get older, those things become more and more important. And that's where this over 40 reset comes in. Just making the adjustments through life, as our jobs get busy and we still have obligations with our family, making these adjustments on a week to week basis is really, really important. The over 40 reset is about small progressions and finding ways of getting the job done. My advice to you is just to keep it simple, right? Don't overload yourself with a perfect plan. Pick a couple things that you know are going to make the biggest difference, right? Pick a new training schedule, right? Pick 4 to 6 exercises, 3 sets of 8 repetitions. Don't overcomplicate this. Get back into the gym, knock those sets out, right? Knock those repetitions out. Make sure your form is perfect, so that we don't take any steps back as it relates to injuries. Same thing with the nutrition. Add a good meal, plan that meal out today. Today's Saturday, for instance, write your schedule down. Write what kind of objectives you have from a body composition or from a muscle building standpoint. And then go to the grocery store and pick things that you know are healthy. We all know what is healthy to eat. Now, optimizing and that might be down the road, but for now, pick the healthier options, right? If you're not working out big, reduce some of the carbs. That's where a lot of times we tend to get these extra calories. Make sure when you're adding fat to your meals, make sure it's healthy fats, right? Avocado oil, olive oil, those types of things. Or reduce the fat altogether if you know you're getting it through your protein. I've been using cooking spray, for instance, which adds 0 calories, but still allows for some, level of cooking where I don't have to add a bunch of oil, even if it's good oil. But again, those small decisions over time do add up. And as you gain more and more confidence, right, and as you get more settled into a schedule, then we can start adding more and more to your program. And again, I think as we look at it from an over 40 reset standpoint, we're all going to start at different places. So again, what I'm doing and what I try to show you guys might be different from what you need to start. But with that being said, progress is progress. So even if you're doing one thing this week, right, one thing, pick that thing and stick to it. Whether it's better sleep, better nutrition, training, right? 1 or 2 things can add up, and then we build that confidence, and then we start to optimize. if you've been following along, you know I'm not where I want to be, right? I just turned 51. My body composition's way out of whack. I'm certainly not as strong as I'd like to be. My health, as far as injuries, I'm still kind of working through some injuries. But again, it's one of those things that if I wanted to, make these videos for you guys and waited for me to be in perfect shape, these videos may never come. But I think having you guys follow along and watching the progress and what it takes to get this done is really, really important. And I don't need to be perfect to get better. And you don't need to be perfect to get better. But we do have to make improvements where it counts the most. For me, right now, my body fat percent and visceral fat are way out of whack. So my focus right now is on losing body fat while trying to maintain or slightly increase my muscle mass and my strength. That is not an impossible task by any means, and we intend on getting the job done. But again, don't expect perfection. Just get started. Don't wait. Start now. If you're over 40 and you're waiting for the perfect time, hopefully this is the sign, right? To start now. Don't wait until the perfect moment. Start uncomfortable. Start at a low level. It does not matter, right? Meet yourself where you are. This is where, we can come and help, right? As a strength and conditioning coach, if you have questions, need advice, by all means, leave comments, at the bottom of the bottom of the video. But again, even if I can serve as inspiration to you guys, subscribe and follow along. I'm going to go on this journey. I'm going to be starting week 3 of my Over 40 Reset 8-week program. And again, like the name implies, it's a reset. So I'm starting over. If you feel like you're starting over, follow along, and hopefully we can get better together. All right, y'all. This is Coach Steve signing off. Again, I just turned 51 yesterday. We're going to go do some shopping today. And maybe hook myself up with a couple things, but y'all have a great weekend. Keep working. Don't give up. And I will see you on the next video.